Tonight's panel is here to light it up and take it up. We've got criminal defense attorney David Bruno, former Hillary advisor and also her campaign consultant, and a consultant to the DNC, very busy man, Antoine C. Wright, and comedian and head writer of this fine program, Jimmy Fallon, is here. Welcome, everyone.
Hey, hey, hey.
It's a Thursday night man panel.
It is.
Oh,
we kind of look like a reunion of a boy band called Wrong Direction. We had like the one hit in the late 90s.
Yeah.
We're back in our tuxedo coats.
Maybe not quite a hit. Maybe like top 15.
Well, it was a hit from a bong. It was a hit in the back of the bus.
Fair.
Well, that's something. At least we know the president's intelligence and stability level.
Genius.
So everyone should be should feel a sense of ease that the president reminds us all once again that he's an extremely stable genius.
Sure. Well, first of all,
do you understand his frustration?
I do. Absolutely. I mean, there's been two court cases this week saying that his financial documents could be released. You got the Mueller report out, but nobody's actually reading it or understanding it. And then you have the attack on
the one guy who does read it from his party says, yeah, I don't know, there's some impeachable stuff in there. That's an issue. Yeah.
Right? So I can understand his frustration, but if that's the standard, then nothing is ever going to get done ever in Washington ever again.
Yeah, no, that's
so
how
that's
it
the
feels.
problem.
Yeah.
Right? So we have to look past this, and we have to all get along, and we have to all come, at the very least, infrastructure, please. Right? But I think we're too far past.
Oh, we may be. That's sad. But you point out something that, and I actually agree with you here. I think the president sometimes forgets that he's the president.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, for the Republicans who are doing toe touches and giving Donald Trump cheers at this point, they would be jumping out of their chairs if this was Barack Hussein Obama. Not to make a comparison, but at some point...
Well, you're making the comparison. Yeah. Let's not pretend you're not making the comparison.
I am making the comparison. I really don't want to make the comparison. Yeah. But at some point, we have to get to the business of doing what a president should do. Yeah. And that is, regardless of party, this country has some real serious needs: infrastructure, health care, education, you name it. Let's try at least to make an honest attempt to work together. And I think, in good faith, the Democrats, at least when I spoke to Mr. Clyburn prior to this meeting, they came to the table.
Okay,
really
I will say this because I know you're good friends with James Clyburn, who's third in line for House Democrat leadership. He's a respectable person. I think Nancy Pelosi has really made some misguided steps here. She's losing it with her caucus, and she takes no responsibility for the timing of her comments about a cover-up before she's supposed to meet with the president. I mean, if you are in sales, you know you soften up the client before you ask for money. You know that, right?
But she doesn't.
Am I the only one watching Mad Men on Netflix?
Yeah. but you're assuming
Do you
that
think I'm Betty Draper or Roger Sterling?
I think you're Trish acting right now.
You don't have to take that.
No, I think that Pelosi came to the table ready to do a deal. I think she knows the powers in her court, and I think she knows the pressures on the president to respond, because Democrats have been cranking out bills, and the GOP have really failed to this point to do what they need to do.
Come on, man. That's so partisan. Jim?
I felt the same way. I thought it was a little rich of Nancy to recommend someone for an intervention.
I just love that they're calling each other crazy.
I think it's great.
Because no one's sitting there going, no, Nancy's really sane.
Yeah, there's no one defending either of them.
No, not at all. No one's going, the president is so stable.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
If you do, then we will not think you're stable. Well,
he got called crazy and responded by asking for shout-outs from everyone in the room, like any sane person would do. Hey, guy over there with the mop, I'm all right, right? You know, it was a little disturbing.
Do you think I'm pretty?
Yeah, I look good, right? A little rich of Nancy, though, to call for someone to get an intervention, given that she talks like she gets paid in Zimas, you know, always with the slurs and the forgets. I know
she does. She has so many glitches. Like,
yeah, it's crazy, but I enjoy
Which I love, by the way. I think it's very endearing.
What she does?
May she be speaker forever.
She comes off as like the older age version of the robot on Small Wonder, because that's who would do that. She would have those kind of mechanisms. But I like that they're not getting along, because I'm not infrastructure crazy. I think we need it, but I don't know how the heck we're going to pay for it.
We can't pay for it. We can't pay for any of it. And the longer they're fighting, the less chance we have of passing some shellacked piece of dog crap like Medicare.
That's what'll happen.
But do you feel that way about every piece of legislation that we really
No,
need to
just
debate?
the ones that spend money.
Okay, name one that doesn't.
Criminal justice reform. It really doesn't. It really sort of alters how the system operates and the structure of the system. It's a good first step.
It's a good first step. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Last word. I know you're poking the air. Do you want to say something? Go ahead, honey.
Last word. I mean, hey, if the Dems want to pass some bills.
The Dems, okay? Let's say it
The
right.
Dems. Listen, go for it. Let's see an infrastructure bill.
Yeah, put up a setup.
They've passed
Where's the
over
immigration
200
bill?
pieces of legislation.
Well, let's do a new one then.
including
Let's see it.
prescription drugs
I want to see them move.
I'm telling you what,
including gun reform,
it is the living manifestation of the bumper sticker, Jesus is coming, look busy. That's all they're doing.
No,
they're not doing anything meaningful or
They have passed very meaningful pieces of legislation.
On immigration?
No. In fact,
no, the important thing? No, not that.
They came to the table and the president rejected it. You
Yeah.
remember that, right?
I remember the president saying, I'll give 1.8 million DACA dreamers some path to citizenship.
More than one
That was
time,
something.
the president has rejected serious immigration proposals, even those that came from his own party.
Yeah.
There have been at least 9 major pieces of legislation that all poll above 60% that have passed the House Democratic chamber.
If that makes you sleep at night, then,
It totally does, because
if
the
that is
pressure's on Mitch
political
McConnell.
Ambien to you, then have at it. Hallelujah.
I'm all about
There's a
prescription
reason.
drugs. I'm all about lowering prescription drugs.
I love prescription drugs.
I'm all
I'm a
about
fan.
regional gun reform.
I don't want to lower the prices because we're not Venezuela and we're not into price fixing, but I do enjoy a prescription drug now.
I'm all about
amoxicillin.
cleaning up corruption.
Budesonide?
Even other people's prescription drugs. I mean, if we're going to get into it.
I think House Democrats have done a hell of a job.
I think that's great. Okay, we're going to talk to the panel a little bit later because it is a man panel. And there's a lot to high five at this table, always. First up.